We want to thank our amazing sponsor, the Rope Drop Queen herself, Michelle McKnight. She is a destination specialist with touring plans and can help you plan an amazing vacation. Whether it's Disney, Universal, a cruise, or an all-inclusive, she can help you with booking, planning, and strategizing to help you have an incredible experience at a great rate. Contact her today at michelle@touringplans.com. Now, on to the show.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to another Rope Drop Radio. Derek and Doug talking all things Disney. And Doug, these are my favorite episodes because it is my trip report.
So your favorites are your own?
Yes,
got it.
Because it means I went to Walt Disney World or Disneyland or Disney Cruise. But right now it's Walt Disney World.
Because that is all that's open. So that's exciting. Let's talk. We'll talk all about your trip. But first, Derek.
We need to announce 2 new Patreons. So welcome to the Rope Drop Radio community, Amy and Ariel. And then we also had another Patreon kind of step up a little bit, and that's Amira. Went up to, was that churro level, Doug? I got to look at the levels.
Dole Whip to churro. I mean, all excellent snacks.
They
Can't
are.
Really go wrong.
My favorite snack has changed, though, Doug.
That's part of the show.
That is. So,
we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
And also, speaking of Patreons, I had a wonderful time meeting some of them, including rope dropping with Sarah. So that is our favorite thing, is when we see our Patreons and listeners out at the parks. And so huge shout out to all of them. But Sarah, thank you so much for rope dropping with me at 6:30 in the morning.
I mean, that's asking a lot of Sarah to rope drop with you.
Yep, pretty much.
I feel a little bit
her
for
room was like 2 away from mine, so I'm also sorry if you heard any crazy yelling at kids to go to bed too.
Oh, you wouldn't do that, Derek.
Never.
All right, Apple Podcast reviews. We have a couple. We need more. I'm going to catch up.
We're catching up, yep.
March was a slow month for the reviews. It's concerning. I guess St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. Anyway, reviews today. Excellent podcast. 5 stars by RS6113.
Makes sense.
Pretty sure I pronounced it.
You
right.
got it.
Thank you for such a great podcast. I'm a fairly new listener since my trip to Disney in October and thoroughly enjoy all things Disney through you guys. Keep up the great job. There we go. All right. Thank you, RS.
Yes.
All right, and now, second one for today, Fun Show, 5 stars, by Amy_ATL. So I'm guessing she's from Atlanta.
Good guess.
Or really likes the airport code. I don't know, one of the two. All right, I really enjoy this show. It's so much fun to listen along and think about my next Disney trip. Doug and Derek know their stuff. There we go. Those are our reviews. Thank you to everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much. Keep leaving them if you haven't yet. Click that 5 stars. Help Doug and I out. And it helps get the show out there. And if you like trip reports, we had Doug's last week and mine this week.
Yes. So on to your trip report, Derek. Who'd you travel with? Who was in your traveling party?
I traveled with my amazing wife, who's going to be on this show here in a little bit. She's getting the kids to bed. Speaking of kids, I brought all 3 of them with me. Declan, Olivia, and Callum, so 9, 7, and 3. This is our first time traveling to Walt Disney World in 19 months, Doug.
As a group, right?
As a group, yeah. No, you and I have been. I'd been with my wife. My wife had been with my daughter. But this is the first time all 5 of us had gone together in 19 months. And that is a long time for us.
And you have a Disney podcast?
You're really right. I know. I mean, I went. But no, they did. We were worried for a while with how they would do. And I got to say, they did phenomenal with wearing masks and social distancing. I'm really proud. So if that is a worry of yours, kids are distracted and they loved it and they appreciated it. So I'm so glad we got away. We did 5 nights. It was just really good and we had a lot of fun. And Doug, one thing we did, we took breaks.
I almost don't believe it.
I know.
But
we went back to the resort every single day. In fact, my wife and I are doing taking a 3-year-old to Walt Disney World during a pandemic Patreon show. And so I know a few of our Patreons and listeners have reached out to us. And so we're going to be doing that on Patreon. So if you want to hear that, you'll have to subscribe. But that is something, Doug, you have never done, taking a toddler to Walt Disney World during a pandemic.
Not during the pandemic. During an epidemic, yes, but not during a pandemic. Swine flu was just an epidemic.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. It took me a minute to catch up. I was like, well, yeah, I had it. Yeah.
As someone that had it and
you did have it,
from
yes.
it was, I do not forget about the old H1N1. Sorry to call it swine flu. All the pork producers out there, we love you and your product. I apologize. Anywho, yeah, no masks for the old H1N1. So it's a whole different ball game for sure. So it's good to hear they all did good. If you hadn't sent me pictures, I don't know that I'd believe you took a break all the time. Did you manage to eat all your meals? You didn't forget about any this time, Derek?
No, we ate everything. In fact, dining was a little bit of a miss this trip, Doug. And I guess the other meals were when everything seems to close early and you can't get food.
Weird.
That's the other thing that drove me insane. But yeah, we did a lot of counter service because we kind of played it by ear. We had 2 ADRs, Mama Melrose, and which I actually liked. I didn't love. I enjoyed it. It's off the bucket list. And then Coral Reef we did, and I'm good. That one was a little overrated to me. The kids
What'd you get at Coral Reef?
The steak. We all got steaks. One kid got shrimp.
I mean, in all honesty, you went to a seafood restaurant and ordered the steak.
We're Nebraskans. We like beef. So you're
when
right.
in Rome, Derek.
You're right. I don't eat seafood. So
just want to quantify Derek's review of Coral Reef. So
here's the thing the food wasn't great, but also the aquarium. Unless you got the e-ticket right up to it view, it's not worth it. And we are spoiled. We have a great zoo, and they have a little restaurant inside. We've eaten in there, and I couldn't do it. My kids were like, okay. So, but it's off the bucket list, Doug. We got it done. Coral Reef is done.
Checklist.
Done.
That's
yes.
not a bucket list.
Well, it is on a bucket list. I want to get to every restaurant on property. So bucket list. Yes.
Oh, your bucket's big.
It is a big bucket list. Yes. Okay. Check, bucket, whatever it is, it's done. I will put it on the back burner until I have grandkids. We'll say that.
Wow. Okay, Coral Reef and Mama Melrose not getting love from Derek.
I will go back to Mama Melrose because I don't not anytime soon. But it was pasta. It was Olive Garden style.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It's the least expensive table service meal in the studios. I mean, never mind. I mean, you can get cheaper at Sci-Fi. You can get cheaper, but it's easier to get than 50s and Sci-Fi too. So it's a obtainable ADR.
Yep.
Except for you, usually.
Well, and you know what? Now I've done everything at Hollywood Studios. So that's why we did that one.
Oh, there you go. All right. And then how about your quick service? Pecos Bills, Woody, Flame Tree, Restaurantosaurus. What all did you have?
Wow. We went to a lot of quick service. So, I mean, we could go park by park, but some of my favorites were, I did enjoy Woody's. That one is always, we've gone there every time.
What do you like to get at Woody's?
We always get their breakfast. So breakfast bowls, hash browns, eggs, salsa, the Pop-Tart for the kids. We've done that now almost every trip that I've gone with my wife.
So what time of day do you get that? Breakfast to me is rope dropping.
Yep, we rope drop. We'll get into rope drop, but if you want to know, we Hollywood Studios, my wife and kids rope dropped Slinky Dog and did Midway Mania, and then got the order going for Woody's. And they're quick, and that's one thing I really do like about quick service right now is being able to get on the app. I kind of got it figured out, about 10-minute window, say I'm here, give it a 10-minute leanway, and usually can walk in and get it. Now, Pecos Bills, that was out the window. That was 30 minutes. I said, I'm ready, I'm here, and 30 minutes went by, and I still hadn't had my food.
What time of day was that?
Oh, lunchtime. Heavy lunchtime. It was insanely busy. Yep.
Okay. And then I saw you got buckets from Restaurantosaurus just to taunt me. Is that why?
Well, we wanted Satuli's Canteen. And so I went over there, got the food, and then the kids wanted chicken nuggets. And where else are you going to go for chicken nuggets? And, of course, they love the green buckets. So it was a win-win. We all got what we wanted. What?
Did you carry your food all the way across the park, or did you eat without your family?
No, I carried the food across the park.
Oh, you're that guy.
I'm that guy that time, yep.
Wow. Did you get it to go from?
Yes, from Satuli's.
So how they package that up, little boxes?
They gave me the box to do it myself because of COVID and probably what they do.
Okay. Well, that's not too weird walking across the entire park with a box. It's not like you're carrying a tray of food with drinks on it.
Exactly. So just 2 boxes, and we got there, and we had a good little family lunch.
And then you also ate at Flame Tree? So you're in Animal Kingdom long enough to eat multiple meals?
Yep, we were. We did 2 days in Animal Kingdom, and so Flame Tree, I'm done. I'm good. I've done it 3 or 4 times.
I can't believe you did it again.
Well, and that was what happened is there's nowhere else to eat. We got on the app, and all the quick services were taken because we were there. We did a dinner at Animal Kingdom because we were staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. We figured we'll run over to Animal Kingdom, we'll ride a couple rides, eat dinner, and everything was booked solid at park closing except for Flame Tree.
They're either closed early or you just couldn't get an arrival window.
Exactly.
What you're saying, booked?
Yep.
Yeah. So
that happened way too much on this trip. And so, that arrival window can be really finicky. So you want to make sure you get one early enough. Plan ahead.
Yeah, plan ahead. Like, it doesn't hurt to look an hour early. And you can put in your order and pick an arrival window hours down the line.
Yep. And so now we learn that for the next time we go.
Yeah. All right. So is there anything else dining? Oh, what about Starlight? Oh, Cosmic Ray action.
I sent you a text message that we are not doing that in June. I have done Cosmic Rays every single trip for the last 5 years. Like, I think maybe the first one you and I did, we may have missed it. But for some reason, that's all you can eat in Tomorrowland. It's got the chicken, it's got the fries, it's got the burgers, so we eat there. And we even did it in September with no kids, Doug. I mean,
it was like we were out of other options.
And really, that's what happened because Tomorrowland Terrace stopped serving at 4 o'clock, and that's where we wanted to eat, and we didn't realize they stopped early, and so we kind of were stuck.
I don't understand why they stay open from like 2 to 4.
That doesn't make sense. Who orders food, I guess? I don't know.
Staff it for those 2 hours. I just don't get it.
You're missing the dinner rush. That's easy money.
I will never understand decisions that they make. And then one other place you ate, Sunshine Seasons. How was that?
That was the biggest swing and a miss. That restaurant has changed so much with COVID.
Yes.
And for my wife and I, we were at Epcot. This was St. Patrick's Day, so we were there kind of do some of the festival booths. But we have to feed children, Doug. That's something the law, or people get mad at. And so the only thing I could think of, and the only window, was Sunshine Seasons. But there was really nothing for kids. We got them the peanut butter and jelly packs, and one of the worst pizzas I've ever seen. My daughter wouldn't even eat it. Just that restaurant is not worth it right now.
Well, and they got rid of most of the Chinese. They got rid, it's just, it used to be great because of the selection, and with COVID, they just,
it's got to be 20% of what it was,
if that.
Like, that was always the go-to restaurant where I'm like, you can find something for anybody.
So I would say, before you even go on your trip these days, look at the menus.
Yep.
And like, you can actually get in there like you're gonna place an order and actually put an order together without pulling the trigger, and you can really see what's available to help you plan your day. And with things closing at 3, 4, and 5 o'clock in the afternoon in multiple parks, a sit-down dinner, booking that 60 days out is a little more appealing now.
Exactly.
And in some situations.
Well, the thing, the quick service running out, like the windows, that's what got me. So we had one at, we want to get Sanaa. And we actually thankfully did get Sanaa, just the bread service one time. But I was like, okay, we'll run back to the resort. We'll get Sanaa. And their windows were all booked up. And it just blew my mind because you got to feed people in Animal Kingdom Lodge. Like, what do you do?
They're feeding people, just not you.
That's exactly it. I was just like, what do we do for food at this point?
Derek, they saw you coming. They're like, don't let the Sassmans in here.
I guess. I'm like, okay.
That's what I would do.
Probably,
I wouldn't let you in. I discriminate against Sassmans.
That happens.
That's clearly the case. So, all right. So, dining, good and bad, hits and misses, which is typical for any Disney trip, I would say. Let's jump back to the Animal Kingdom Lodge. How was your experience there with that resort?
I got to say, the resort, beautiful. This is our once-in-a-lifetime Animal Kingdom Lodge, Savannah view, giraffes out the window, one-bedroom villa, Doug, which I don't know how I'm ever going to go back to anything else.
It's hard, Derek. It
was incredible.
We just spent a week in one room at Caribbean Beach after being, one bedroom and deluxe people for a long time. So, yeah.
Yep. I don't know how we go back. It was incredible that my kids had their own bed. We had our own room, the huge tub and shower and multiple bathrooms and fridge. It was great. The only problem with Animal Kingdom Lodge is it's in the middle of nowhere and it takes forever to get anywhere on property.
And not only were you at Animal Kingdom Lodge, you were at Kidani Village, which is even further.
More, yes.
Yeah,
out west.
It's out there. We discussed that last week on my trip report and how I drove to you for like ever and a day. You're not even in the right county.
No,
let's remember that. I mean, don't buy your souvenirs in Animal Kingdom or Animal Kingdom Lodge because the taxes are higher. It's that far away.
That is true. But I will say the pool ranks in my top 3 pools on property. Kidani Village, it was small enough that I felt safe with my kids. The slide was great. The pool bar was phenomenal. Lifeguards were some of the best we've ever had. And was just really happy with that experience. So if you're going to, and there's a lot of people doing staycations there right now. A lot of Florida residents were there. And that's a good resort for that.
Nice.
Yep.
How about the animals? How was watching the animals?
Love that. Every morning drinking coffee, watching them when it's not rope dropping dark out. My 3-year-old loved it. I think my older kids were kind of done with it by day 2, but it was kind of neat to be able to say we did it. And I don't know. It was fun. It was good. The best part of this trip was we got away from everything that's happening in the last year. And for moments, you're just sitting watching the savannah and you kind of forget that the world is falling apart in places. And so it was wonderful. I do highly recommend it, especially if you have younger kids. Animal Kingdom Lodge is great.
And the savannah view is
why would
great.
you do anything but a savannah view?
Right? The only reason to stay in a non-savannah view is like you were going to stay at like a moderate and they're like, hey, there's a discount that makes a deluxe the same price as a moderate. That's when you jump and you do the non-savannah view because you can still see the animals from some public spaces.
Yep.
You still get the experience. You get the bigger room. So for both Jambo House, Kidani Village, that's the instance where you stay in non-savannah rooms. That's how they fill them, right? With
exactly
discounts. So don't think you can't do that if it's a price thing to get you from a moderate. I would do that in a heartbeat, but it's a very beautiful resort. How about the buses, Derek?
They were absolutely horrendous. Some of the worst, if not the worst buses I've ever had. In fact, a cast member, as we were leaving, asked me how my stay was. But she said, besides bus service, how was your stay? Knowing that they were bad. We waited 30 minutes. I mean, I don't even know how many times I texted you, Doug, just anger. 30, 40 minutes getting to parks. And then the worst was Animal Kingdom to Animal Kingdom Lodge didn't make sense to me.
It should be fast.
Well, and I found out afterwards that they share a bus. So it goes Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Animal Kingdom, Lodge, back to Hollywood Studios. So they share a bus. And that doesn't make sense. Have one bus, Animal Kingdom Lodge, back, forth. That makes sense to me because I could have walked. It took 45 minutes from Animal Kingdom to get back to Animal Kingdom Lodge. I could have walked. I could have found an animal and rode it back to my room faster.
They need a sidewalk and they need a Skyliner.
Skyliner. Easy, done.
It doesn't even make sense. A Skyliner with even 2 stops, or you put 1 stop between Jambo House and Kidani Village. They're really not that far apart from the ends of them. Like, you just put it right there in the middle. Yeah. And the other end of the Skyliner goes to Coronado Springs. It's in a nice straight line. You don't have to have any turn stations.
We were so bored. Yeah, we were so bored. My daughter was getting so mad that we looked on Google Maps and found where to put it while we were waiting for a bus.
And there's no way to walk either.
No.
They have made sure of that. You're not, unless you're going to like climb fences and swim and like fend off gators, you're not walking. So I'm glad you didn't attempt.
No, we did not do that. Child.
It'd be bad. It'd be very bad. Don't walk. Don't try to walk. All right, moving on. Strollers, Derek. How was the strollering?
We got Kingdom strollers, which I highly, highly, highly recommend. A few of you guys asked us. We love Matt. We know the owner. If you're thinking about renting a stroller, hit us up. We'll give you a link, get the Rope Drop Radio discount.
Yep,
and
it's on the old website.
It is.
Just go click on the banner.
But I had someone message me because I said that this week, Doug, and they're like, we can't find it. So if you can't find it on the website,
let us know.
I will send you a link like I did this week. But this was great. We missed our pickup window, so to make sure I got to Rope Drop, they came at 6:30 in the morning the next day, so I was able to get my stroller. I only got one stroller. First time, Doug, not getting a double, but these strollers are awesome. They're compact, they're light, they're maneuverable. There you go. The only time I regretted not getting a double was by the last day at Magic Kingdom because my kids were done. I was a little done.
I see. How was folding it up to get on the Skyliner?
We never did. We just rolled it right on in.
Oh.
And Callum just sat there.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Unlike the people I saw that made the Skyliner stop because they couldn't get on the. It was okay. So you're capable. Just wanted to make sure. It was a litmus test.
It was simple.
Yeah.
Barely an inconvenience. It was great.
Yeah. So stroller's good. Kingdom stroller. So how'd you miss your pickup window? Derek, what did you do?
I didn't do anything. I did not realize that Magical Express was not what it used to be. And it took us a really, really long time to get to Animal Kingdom Lodge. And Animal Kingdom Lodge is really far away. We were the fourth stop. So I missed it, not by much, which frustrates me a little bit. If I would have thought about it a little bit more, I would have gave them a little bit more time. But yeah, we just got to our resort so late in the night.
The having to pick up your bags adds a lot of time. You forget to calculate that.
Yep.
And when you're getting in later, you had to pick up your bags anyway. So, I mean, it's about 2 hours from the time you're stepping off your plane to the time you're stepping in your resort.
Exactly. So I messed up on the math. Boy, do I miss having the bags delivered to the room, Doug.
And you got in too late for that anyway.
But still, I mean, I miss that. I miss bags going to airline check-in.
Yeah,
wow, it is a little bit different experience this time. This was the first time I think I haven't done that with kids.
Yeah.
So definitely a new first for us that I don't like.
All right, so let's move on to Rise of the Resistance boarding groups and your kids' favorite ride and Smuggler's Run.
Okay.
What all does that have to do with each other, Derek?
Well, first off, Rise of the Resistance, 7 a.m. Did I get a boarding group, Doug? Yes, I did.
You learned your lesson from February.
I had 3 phones going this time, not just one. We had one on Wi-Fi, one on data. My wife had one. Ironically, the one on Wi-Fi got it, even though our Wi-Fi was terrible in the room. But still, I don't care. We got group 22. I was happy. And so we decided to break up the kids. My wife took my 7-year-old Declan. I took my daughter. And this ride, being my 5th time, was my most memorable.
Is Callum not tall enough?
Nope, not tall enough.
Oh.
I know. We're short people, Doug. How does this surprise you at all?
My kids are giant.
I
don't understand. They were like 40 inches at 2.5. So I just it's hard for me.
That is. Yeah. But my daughter loved it. Loved it. So much so that she made me send Doug a video saying that it's her favorite ride.
Yes.
And it's Declan's 3rd favorite ride. So they both appreciated it. And it really grew on me going through it with my daughter and kind of living through her eyes. And we were yelling and having a lot of fun as it was going. And so I enjoyed it quite a bit, Doug.
I mean, you're captured. It's traumatic. You got to live
My daughter's like, get us out of here.
Yeah. And they're shooting at you.
They are. Actually, she jumped so many times. It made it really fun for me. I love it.
That's good. And that was their first time.
First time, yep.
That's exciting. And then how about Smuggler's Run? How'd that go with the kids piloting?
That was one of the best experiences I've ever had. In fact,
Wait. Would I have needed a bag?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They got 8%, Doug. 8%.
Yeah, I would have needed a bag for that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was possible.
They hit everything. So here's the best part. We get on the ride. Like it is my kids piloting, me as a gunner. We're buckled in. We grab the yellow strap. And all of a sudden, at the last possible second, a couple walks in to be our engineers. And I look at them. They look at me. They look at my kids. They look back at me. And I just go, I'm sorry. And they're like, okay. And they sat down. And yeah, my kids hit everything. But my kids were yelling at each other. I was yelling at them. It was so much fun. We were laughing the whole time. They talked about it forever. And I will make a proclamation on this show that this is my favorite ride on Walt Disney World. If you know everyone in your
Yes.
party, like when we were in September and we knew all of us, like we had Kent and Alex and you and me and Michelle, and we're all yelling at each other and we couldn't even use one of the videos because we used some...
too much language.
Yes, language not appropriate for podcasting. It was fun. And I knew then that this is my favorite ride. And then getting to do it with my wife and now with my kids, it is the best ride on property.
I've been saying it's totally situational, right?
Yep.
It for those two people that got stuck with you, one of the worst rides on
Oh,
property.
absolutely. I mean, it was... I'm surprised they didn't puke.
Right? And like our big group, one of the things they're still talking about is Chewy mode. And I think it still would have been up there even without unlocking Chewy mode. But yeah, it's fantastic. But 8%, like you have to try to hit stuff at that point. Were they trying, Derek?
So my son is actually not bad at video games. He was left and right. He got it. My daughter does not get the up and down thing at all.
And then it's like backwards to people, right?
She was horrendous. Like really bad. Like I'm already worried about driving lessons
and you should be. I'm not teaching. We are going to be signing Samantha up for driver's ed, and hopefully that will take care of things.
That's what my parents did for me, and it worked out fine.
Did it though?
I still drive. I've been
there we go.
We're good.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. I love Smuggler's Run. All right. Rope drops. How'd your rope drops go?
We did 4 rope drops. We successfully did 3 of them, Doug. So we tried. I'll get to it. We rope drop all 4 parts.
I think that's a Meatloaf song. 3 out of 4 successfully tried. Isn't bad.
Day 1 was Hollywood Studios. We were great. We got there. My kids did Slinky Dog. I did Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway with Callum. That one went great. Magic Kingdom. We got to the bus stop at 7 a.m., knowing that we were late. I'm not going to lie. We should have got there a little bit earlier, but I was hoping bus service is 20 minutes. My goal was to get in the park by 7:30, 7:40 at the latest. We ended up getting in at about 7:45, and yeah, there are already people in there. Rides had already started. But you know what? My kids and wife were able to do Dumbo and Mine Train pretty quickly, and I was able to do Peter Pan and Tigger and get a cinnamon roll. So
Tigger. Wait, what attraction is Tigger?
Sorry, Winnie the Pooh, but the Tigger. Okay. So my Callum calls it the Tigger ride because you bounce. I get it.
Yeah, you do bounce. Okay.
Yes,
just making sure you.
I know what ride it is. Yes.
All right, I gotta keep you on task.
You got me names going. And then Epcot, we rope drop test track. Me and my 2 older ones, and that's when I text you because I was like, why are they telling you that it doesn't start till 11? We were off that ride by 10:15.
Like, you gotta love that. We're opening, but we're not going to run the ride till 11. Is it to try to get people to not get in line? Like, what else are they going to do?
Yeah, I guess. So,
like, why lie? Why lie, Disney?
We got off test track. We rode Frozen, and we did 3 Caballeros by park open at 11:15.
That's half your day already.
Yep. Great,
done,
good,
and
done
before the park's open. And it's just crazy that they're opening that way. It's awesome. It's going to be a real rude awakening when they start to implement the new Magic Morning sort of thing where it's just resort guests, because it's essentially going to be the same thing, but just for resort guests.
Can't wait for that.
The off-property people are going to be punished severely once they start, because it'd be like showing up at 11 and you're already done with 3 attractions.
Exactly.
I mean,
2 of them e-tickets. Like. Yeah. I could have probably made it over to Soarin' and got that knocked out.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you could have. It's just a matter of, did you want to walk over there?
That's true. And then we rope dropped Animal Kingdom, which, of course, is Flight of Passage. We did do Na'vi, And my kids, we did a rider swap, so my kids got to do Flight of Passage twice. And
Nice.
Shout out to Joe. While they were doing that, I went to Starbucks for him. I didn't get him anything.
Gotta get your back to the mouse Starbucks.
I had to
coffee.
get that. That's my favorite Starbucks on property.
When
by
do
the
they
way.
name a drink after Joe?
I'm hoping soon.
Yeah, I think so.
Or at least like a cake pop, something fun.
Something, yeah, definitely. So rope drops went good. So we did the Hollywood Studios rope drop a little earlier. What did you do after your breakfast at Hollywood Studios? Because by then everything has a weight.
Yep. Yeah,
Except
that's
Alien Swirly and Saucer, maybe.
actually that had a ridiculously long wait. So that's when we did Smuggler's Run. So while my wife was finishing up breakfast with Callum, I ran over and got that knocked out with my 2 older kids. And she took Callum on Alien Swirling Saucer.
What was Smuggler's Run at that time? Because you had done Slinky, Mania, a little bit of breakfast. Was it like half hour, 45 minutes?
30 minutes on the dot.
30 minutes?
By the way, huge shout out to Touring Plans and that Lines app. That was great. I almost emailed Len Testa at one point because we were at Pirates of the Caribbean. I know I'm jumping parks. It was a 75-minute wait posted, and Touring Plans said 25 minutes, and I was like, there's no way. No way. So I timed it. It was 24 minutes. So yeah, dead on. Well done.
Yeah, and the more you time things, the better their data gets.
That's
too.
true.
So it's like a game that you're participating and improving.
Yeah, so that saved us a lot of time, being able to go on that app and kind of planning strategically with that.
We put Samantha in charge of the timer on the trip, so it was hard for us on this last one. It was difficult because she wasn't there.
No.
Did you enter a lot of times?
A handful, but then I forget too because I have the kids with me and I forget to stop it.
Yeah. So you need you got to belong to Touring Plans to unlock everything in the Lines app. Just it's behind a paywall.
Book a trip with Michelle and you get
then
it.
you get a
There
free
you go.
membership just by booking with a Touring Plans travel agent. So that alone is pretty valuable because then you can also do the custom optimized touring plans as well.
None of the lines made sense this trip. None. Zero. Don't understand.
Speaking of,
let's talk about it. I know where you're going.
The elephant in the room of Hollywood Studios, the main attraction for small, short people. Derek, let us live your pain at Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. Well, I don't even know the title.
You got it. But this is yeah. So this is the longest ride, not just of the day, Doug. This is the longest line I waited in of the trip. And the longest line I've waited in a few trips. Lightning McQueen Racing Academy, 50 minutes on the dot. My wife and older kids went to Tower of Terror. They were on and off before we were out of the attraction.
What time of day? Like 10?
Oh, no. It was 2 o'clock, give or take, right in there. Or before our break. So
really right before lines start to dissipate. Boy, you went late in the day before your break.
Yep, that was last thing we want to make sure. Well, they wanted to do Tower of Terror, and then we knew we wanted to get out of there. But yeah, Lightning McQueen, my goodness, that line doesn't make sense. It wraps around like back by Tower of Terror and comes back around Rockin', and then you get in there, and then it's like a mad rush to get kid out of the stroller and then in line for the attraction. But you know what? It was totally worth it because Callum freaking loved it, Doug. And he cheered and laughed and clapped. And it's not like I had anything else to do for 50 minutes. I mean, my wife and kids are on their attraction. I updated, the Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, you posted, what line am I in? And I had no idea.
No one got it right. So, it was a long one, but it was worth it. And shout out to Touring Plans. That one was right on. I was like, 50 minutes. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, they were right.
They're right both directions on that one.
Yeah,
it's
they
good
were.
and bad.
They were. The other long line I'm going to talk about on Patreon is Carousel, Doug. So a little teaser for a Patreon episode that you and I are going to do after this.
Okay. All right. So how about let's jump to Epcot and the sticker challenge that they have going on with the eggs, right? There's eggs.
Yeah,
out
the Kit
right
Kat. It's just world map stickers. This is great.
Yeah.
This will be one of the funniest things that my kids will never forget. So we do Frozen, and we're in Norway, and they get a sticker, and the cast member is like, hey, collect all of these from all the pavilions, and you'll get a prize. And my daughter's like, a prize? It could be anything. And I'm like, Olivia,
this is free, right?
Yeah, this is Epcot. I mean, I remember one year they did a coloring page off like a printer paper. It's not going to be anything great. She's like, we got to do it. We got to do it. And I'm like, okay. So we went and ate at Coral Reef, and we did Mexico and Norway. And so after Coral Reef, my kids are still like, we got to do it. And my wife's like, fine, I'll take the stroller. We'll switch on and off with them. And I'm like, great. Me and Callum, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take a friendship boat to the American Adventure. And so, yeah, we took a friendship boat to Morocco. We did the American Adventure and did Voices of Liberty, which he loved, by the way. Well, my other older kids, I know, it's true. My other kids walk with my wife around all the World Showcase pavilions, collect all the stickers. By the time and they're walking back, we meet up with them in Germany. They're exhausted. And by then, Callum gets the stroller again. And my redheads are just, they're done. They're done. And they go get the prize. And my daughter was pissed. It was a little card. Like, you completed it. Good job. Go team. And she was livid. It was so bad, Doug, that Epcot, we didn't go to any other parks. Like, they're so tired after Epcot that we just left. It was done, and we went back to the pool, and that was a day for us.
I'm curious what she thought she was going to get.
A boat? I have no idea. I tried. Like, there's something. And, like, so then my 7-year-old son, who's so competitive, is like, I'm going to get all these before you. And I'm like, oh, no, this is not going to end well at all.
Together, so.
Yeah. And so, yep, I jumped on a friendship boat with Callum. He freaking loved that. So a lot of the trip was, a lot of it was me and Callum, the 3-year-old, having fun. Because you and I are going to go in June. And I told my wife.
I'm entertained by a friendship boat too, Derek.
That's true. I'll take you on it.
Yeah. Okay.
That was easy entertainment for him. I haven't done that for a while either.
There's a lot of similarities between me and a 3-year-old.
That is true. And I got a close-up look of Harmonious, which is just a beautiful floating taco of blackness. But they were working on it, so we're getting there?
Getting there. Someday, some year. So also at Epcot, it was St. Patrick's Day, and
that was the day before.
Oh, you went there twice.
Yes, we did Epcot twice. So here's
I got you.
We weren't planning on it. We hung out with you. Remember, we had green shirts on. We did on St. Patrick's Day. We did the Magic Kingdom, so we wore green. We then went over to Hollywood Studios, which we wanted to do the Mickey's Dance Party. Come on, Doug.
Disney Junior. I was at Sci-Fi Junior.
You were. We missed each other. We tried. Yeah. And then we were bored, and we saw a time, and my kids wanted to ride the Skyliner. And so we went over to Skyliner to Epcot. Maddie and I want to get festival food, but it's also St. Patty's, and there's the only one place on property to get green beer, and that's in the UK Pavilion, which, hey, shout out to Mattalorian, #FindMatt. He was there keeping guard, making sure no one was drinking too much green beer. But I did. I got my green beer. I got to celebrate a little St. Patty's Day at Epcot. Nothing too crazy, but Michelle texted me, what are you doing in Epcot? And I should have just texted back, I wanted a beer. But, because we could not find anything for the kids to eat. That's when we went to Sunshine Seasons.
And still failed to find something for the kids.
I texted you, I texted her. I was like, where's food for my kids? But I did have a brisket sandwich that was to die for. That was the best thing I ate the whole trip from the World Showcase Pavilion.
Nice. The old brisket.
It was good.
I'm glad it was good. So, Callum, the 3-year-old, kind of his first big trip to Disney, being able to do stuff, right? It's been 19 months. I mean, that's more than half of his life since he was there.
Yeah.
Right? Is my math correct? Yeah. More than half of his life has gone by without a Disney trip. I mean,
I don't know.
Let's hope that never happens to any of us.
No, I know. That would. I can't make that.
Like 82 when that happens almost. Okay, anywho, enough sadness with adding. His first roller coaster, Speedway, Dinosaur, all that sort of stuff. How did he like roller coasters and things?
I will be honest, out of my 3 kids, he appreciated it more than the other 2. He had a lot of fun. He wanted more and more. He did Triceratops spin 4 times, Doug. 4 times. Yeah, you can never get enough spinning rides. That is who it is geared to. He absolutely loved Barnstormer. We went twice. I put one of the videos on social media. I'll try to put that back on this week on like the Insta story and stuff like that. And then his favorite ride by far and away was Speedway. I drive, and that was classic. I got to go on him with it, so I feel left out for my wife. But man, what a great memory that I will always have, just being there for so many of his firsts. And I mean, we did Mickey's PhilharMagic, and he's reaching his hand out trying to grab Donald. The carousel we'll talk about in the Patreon show. But yeah, he freaking loved going. I know my wife did take him on It's a Small World, and I know he loved that. And so we had just a lot of fun with him seeing characters. The dance party, huge hit, Doug. He loved it. He danced. He got to see Mickey. Oh, and cavalcades. Wow, did he actually, all my kids like cavalcades. I like cavalcades. Everyone needs a cavalcade in their life. And so those were great. But yeah, he just had such a wonderful time. And if you have a toddler and you're debating going, it's still go. Go. Yeah, it's more for the parents. Even with masks and social distancing, he doesn't know anything different right now anyway. And so he still loved it. And he's the one who probably said thank you the most.
Toddlers are great at times.
Yep.
And that's the Disney World with a toddler is a great time. I mean, it has its moments because any child has some moments, but you get a lot more out of it than you get taking your 13-year-old. I'll tell you that.
We did not really have any tantrums. He never took a nap, though, Doug. That one I lost a bet with my wife.
So I'm not like a 3-year-old.
He was up at 6:30 in the morning, and he went to bed. I mean, we shut down the Magic Kingdom. So we rope dropped Animal Kingdom 6:30 in the morning, and we shut down the Magic Kingdom, so 9 o'clock. And he never napped in between. So that's my boy right there, Doug.
All right. Well, Derek, anything else trip-wise for you before we bring on Madison?
You know what? It was so good. I'm so glad we went. I know this trip was on, off, and in the end, it just was wonderful to get away. Family vacation, cannot recommend highly enough booking with Michelle and just getting away and enjoying some Disney love.
All right, well, let's talk a little more about your trip with Madison. All right, now we're welcoming on Derek's better half, Madison. Welcome to the show, Madison.
Thank you so much. I so badly want to just be like, bah, 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 like do something so ridiculous, because Derek will be like, "Oh my gosh, Maddie."
Well, I mean, I think we'll be just fine on handling that. He won't like anything we do or say. So, traveling with Derek. Everybody wants to know, did he forget his socks this time?
He did not forget socks. Olivia forgot socks, so
so it's genetic.
Yeah, we're testing if there's, if there's something that we can do to help them. But he did not forget socks. He actually did okay in the airport. Derek is a very anxious flyer. He insists that it is not the airplanes that make him nervous. It's the airports that make him nervous.
When I fly with him, he's calm and cool and collective. So I don't know what the variable is there.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's me.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. I ignore him. I just ignore him.
Doesn't sound like a bad strategy.
I mean, it's worked well for us. I mean, we're still together. 13 years coming up, oh my gosh, tomorrow.
Congratulations.
13 years of being
that's awesome.
Together.
So, also traveling with Derek, he is known from going from rope drop to close. No one gets to relax. You're not having fun unless you're tired.
Yes, and crying.
This was different. And crying. Everyone crying.
Everyone crying. Derek. Yeah.
So how is this one different?
Oh, man. Oh, it was so good. This is the wife after years of Disney trips where I've been like, can we please go longer than 3 days? And can we please take breaks? After every trip, I'm like, let's recap. We're all tired. Can the next one be longer with breaks? And this time, you guys, he did it. Derek delivered. We went back to the resort every day and basically took a break, and it was really good for especially for me and for Declan, he's much more of an introvert. And so being around that many people, just can really tire him out fast. And, Callum's 3. So us being able to be in the room where there's not as much stimulation, we're able to chill out, was really good. And, Derek got to go with, like, one of the days Derek took Olivia to Disney Springs. They went and looked around the resort. They were still doing their thing, which was, go, go, go. Because Olivia is very much like Derek energy. Kind of like, let's go all the time. And so I'm glad that he can do that with her. And I'm also glad that I get to stay at the resort with Declan and take a nap.
I'm glad it worked out for you.
It was wonderful.
He finally saw the value of a nap or a resting. And I think it helps that you guys went in February, so he didn't feel like he had to do everything right away. And
yes. And I think, helped. Callum being the age that he is, but I think the biggest change for us, honestly, was typically, like, we get 2 days in from, like, regular Disney trip, and Declan would be losing it, like, just like being super naughty in the park, just like super stubborn. And I would be like, you know what, he's overstimulated, we need to stop. And then we wouldn't have built in brakes. When we didn't have brakes built in, it was like really rough. And this trip, it was like, oh, we're actually enjoying this, like, with our older kids, like, they're enjoying it fully. We're enjoying them. We don't get to the end of the day and we're just like, oh my gosh, take me away from these children of mine.
Who are these other 4 people that I live with?
Yeah, you're like, free children comes with Disney Park Pass.
Yeah, just for the record, been telling him to take breaks for 5 years now.
No, so I know. I have always been Team Doug on this. So I have always been like, rope drop to nap time. I'm a connoisseur of naps. Listen, it is my truth. So
what was a trip highlight for you?
I think probably going on Everest with Livy and Declan, because Livy hadn't gone before. And so that was really fun for her to experience that for the first time. And then, this was Callum's first trip where he really understood kind of, he was really into the characters, like he would ask to take pictures, of course, everything's distanced, but like, we were there during Flower and Garden, which was gorgeous, by the way. This is the first time I've ever done that. And he was so excited to take pictures by the topiaries and so excited to see the cavalcades and wave at Buzz and Woody. And like, there's nothing that can replace like the first time, when they're really little and they're like seeing their favorite characters. Like, that's the reason you take little kids to Disney, is because you as a parent always remember that, like, that are like, I have moments in my brain of like Olivia meeting Ariel and Declan meeting Buzz Lightyear and now Callum waving at Woody in the cavalcades that like, I'm like, I will always remember those for forever. Like, those are my memories to keep. That's really, really sweet. Oh, actually, I'm going to say, my highlight was Declan getting to drink green Fanta. Ooh, he found where he could drink
Fanta.
Yeah, where he could drink green Fanta, and it was like, he was like,
on purpose?
Yeah. Oh, Declan loves the color green. So anything that is green, he automatically gives it like a pass. And he got some green Fanta. And it was like the entire trip for him. I was like, I just need to try and find green Fanta somewhere. And that will make your life. That's way cheaper than a Disney trip. I mean, I'd prefer Disney, but I'm just saying.
I checked Dollar General. They tend to have the weird Fanta flavors.
There we go. Okay.
Right?
Thanks
tip
for
of
that.
The day.
There's your tip. There's your podcast tip.
Podcast tip of the day brought to you by Green Fanta.
Green Fanta and Dollar General. We're really rolling in the sponsors.
We are. So that's
tip of the top.
That's fantastic. You never know what's going to make a trip for a kid.
Right? It's so weird.
And you have to be open to it. You can't, like, I'm sure there's parents that are like, this is what you're excited about. False. Move along. Let them enjoy the moment, even if it is Green Fanta. I miss Club Cool for that
I
reason.
know. We were literally just tonight, we watched the video of Olivia having the Beverly.
Ooh.
And it's so funny because she's like so sure that she's going to pull one over on us and like she's going to like it. So she takes a drink and she's like, and then like within a half a second, she's like, ugh. Because she's like, oh, Mom and Dad think I'm not going to like this, but I'm going to prove that I can drink it and I like it. And she was like, oh, regrets. I'm doing a regret.
Definitely regrets. All right. Well, those are some good trip highlights. Now it's time for the lightning round. We did a lightning round kind of, sort of, way back, but now our lightning round has grown to encompass more things. So we're doing it again with you, Madison.
Yeah.
There are points. You do get scored. There are winners. There are losers, but it's all made up.
I mean, listen, I'm a winner, so.
Are you ready?
I'm here to win. Yeah, I was born ready.
Right. Favorite Disney movie?
Live action is Mary Poppins, and character is would be Beauty and the Beast. Cartoon.
Okay,
animation. Yes, it's late. And animation.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, that's the one.
All right, favorite Disney character?
Belle.
All right, favorite Disney villain?
Ursula. She's got to win. She's got the best song.
Yes, she does. They're filming that live action.
Oh my gosh.
To see.
The excitement I have is, I can't. I have, we're going to have to do a show on that one. Like a mini show on that.
You're good with the casting of Ursula?
I'm good. I'm happy with.
She should be funny, right?
Yes, 100%. I think it's going to be great. I really do.
Okay.
I think every casting choice they've come out with, I'm like, yes. It's like I just get more amped up.
All right. Favorite Disney song?
Feed the Birds from Mary Poppins.
Okay. Favorite Disney park?
Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
Gotta.
No, you don't have to.
No, you gotta.
No, you can score more points with other answers.
Wrong.
All right. Favorite classic attraction? You define classic.
Favorite classic attraction? Jungle Cruise.
Oh, now you're in the bonus points with that one.
It's just so funny. It's time.
Different every time.
You can't not like the Jungle Cruise. It's just so funny.
All right. Favorite modern attraction? You define modern.
I think probably Flight of Passage. Every time I watch it or every time I do it, I'm in awe and also like smiling really big like a big idiot, and then also feel like maybe I'll cry. Like I'm like, this is just so beautiful. I'm on the back of the Banshee and it's so amazing.
And things are trying to eat me.
I know. It's just so beautiful. Life. Simulated life on this fake Banshee.
Yep. All right. Favorite resort?
Beach Club is my favorite.
All right.
It's the best.
It is. Favorite counter service restaurant?
Woody's Lunchbox.
All right.
Never disappoints. And you know what? You can't beat a good tot. You just can't.
Okay. Tater tots for the win. Favorite table service restaurant?
Be Our Guest. Hands down. Not even a competition. Nothing holds a candle. They have great stuff.
The bill.
No, I don't. We don't think about the bill.
You don't care about the bill.
No,
okay.
Bills don't exist in Disney. That's for my husband to worry about.
Okay. Well, that's why you can like that restaurant. All right. Important question here. Favorite Disney snack?
This is not a question. There is only one, and it is Dole Whip. And anyone who answers differently is wrong, and they obviously have serious issues and need to go and see a mental health professional.
That would be.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, I pray for him.
All right. Favorite Disney drink?
The grapefruit beer from Germany. That's the winner. Shoppen something. Hyperphenum.
Yep, exactly.
That's the one. Nailed it.
All right. Disney bucket list item.
I want to stay in the bungalows.
Okay.
And by stay, I mean like one night, because then, we'll
one
have
night.
to give away one of our
kidney?
children.
I mean, to be honest, a kidney might be worth more. So
Truly. I mean, but maybe if like one of them gets famous, maybe.
Oh, then yeah.
There we go. Then that could be, listen.
They get you in the bungalow for maybe more than one night.
Yeah, just one night. I don't need any more than that. Just one night in the bungalow.
All right. Well, that concludes the lightning round. Thank you very much for coming on.
What sound does lightning make? Nothing, it doesn't make any sound.
We don't really have fancy graphic sound making noise sounder things. Derek sometimes goes.
Yeah.
But I'm not Derek, so I won't.
Hey, Derek, when you're editing this, can you put in the cool, fancy, it's not lightning, it's thunder, but it makes you think of lightning? Okay, thanks. Thanks so much.
All right. Well, it was fun.
Yeah, high fives all around. Good job.
And I'm back, Doug. So got to listen to all that. It's weird not having multiple headphones, so I bought a splitter while I was listening.
That's good because
there
they're
you go. Now I can
50 cents.
Yeah. So now I can be on with my wife. Didn't realize that until right before we brought her on. So, but it was good. She got to have her time, and I got to listen to her answers, and yeah.
So one question, you kind of teased something about your favorite snack earlier.
Yes, I realized that when she was talking about it.
What is your new favorite snack and why is it Dole Whip?
I do like Dole Whip. Also, my son got the weird Dole Whip that tastes like coconut and sunscreen. So I definitely do not like that one. But you know what? I've always said Mickey Pretzel, but that is really my favorite snack of my childhood. I haven't gotten one of those in years and years. But there is one thing I get every time, Doug, and that is a Gaston cinnamon roll. And I'm going to say that is my favorite snack, and it's the thing I missed the most during the shutdown, and definitely got 2 of them this time around. So
at the same time or different days?
No, same time, and I ended up eating 1.5 because it was literally too big. Callum and I tried to split one. I wasn't letting him have that much, and then I gave it to my kids, the split, and it was too big for them, so I ended up pretty much eating 1.5, which will carry me over till June, so I'm good.
Yep, we'll make sure you get your craving met in June.
Yep, I think that's my favorite snack. I think it's there.
Sounds good. And I think that's it, Derek. I think we're ready to wrap it up.
Let's do it. So yeah, wonderful trip, and thanks to my wife who was on and did the lightning round, so that was really fun. But we also got to thank your wife, Michelle McKnight, for booking and taking care, and actually she booked Vegas for me today, Doug. So she doesn't just do Florida, she does all over. Where you want to travel, hit her up. Her email is in the show notes, but like Maddie and I both said, it is a wonderful time to go to Walt Disney World with kids. They will love it, and it's definitely worth it, and there's some discounts. So if you want to hear more about that, hit her up, and she would love to give you a quote.
Book early, like park passes are
I looked at the calendar. So, there's some days where you can't get into parks.
It will be interesting to see when and where we start to see some capacity come back, because it's going to be in the next month or two. Will it be before Memorial Day, after Memorial Day, randomly in the lull that is early May?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll be down there in just a couple weeks over the weekend of April 16th, so we'll see.
Happy birthday. Early birthday. There you go.
Thank you.
All right. Well, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Be sure to check out our 2 Patreon shows this week for our Patreons. And if you want to know more about that, click that link in the show notes. And be sure to leave a review. Help us keep getting those up, and subscribe for more episodes. And, of course, follow us on all of the social media. So for Doug, I'm Derek, and guess what? We have a thing going on right now, so whoever listens to their trip report more, so if Doug's trip report last week gets more downloads, or if my trip report this week gets more downloads, we have to owe the other one a snack when we go in June. So if you've downloaded this one, download it again on another device. So thank you for listening to Rope Drop Radio.